Schools across the tri-state area continue to either cancel classes or move to remote learning.
All of it to ensure everyone's safety during the coronavirus outbreak.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting. This is the first of its kind with the families who are interested in the Canton Center for STAR International Academy. We are live now doing a virtual meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to introduce you to the Academy and to give you an update and also to talk about enrollment. So many of the families have been raising questions and they've been wanting to know more about what's going on. So with this COVID-19, I want to say hopefully all the families are staying safe and keeping at it, making sure that the kids continue their learning. And I believe some of the schools are already out. On our end, STAR International Academy, today is the last day for students. And so we will get back to them in the fall. And with the construction of the project, it's still continuing on and we're moving along. So what I like to do here is to give you a little overall about the Academy, to introduce you to the program and, STAR International, some historical data and so forth. So hope you find this presentation to be informative and helpful. We will also have a question and answer opportunity after the presentation. So for the parents who may have questions, you can send your questions via the comment section and keep going throughout the presentation, or you can hold off till after the presentation. So in either way, we will try to answer all the questions that come forward. With that, I have a PowerPoint that's being presented before you, and you'll see here some pictures of the graduates. We've been graduating students since 2004. So most of the graduates have really, I would say the majority of them have really accomplished quite a bit. These are the ones we're keeping track of their accomplishments. So, and some of them have come back as board members, some as staff members, some are even as parents. So we're experiencing graduate students bringing their own kids into the school. And we take pride in that. On the next slide, we're looking at our staff, just to give you a quick glimpse. All of our teachers are highly qualified and or certified, and the same with the paraprofessionals. as well as the administrators. We only hire highly qualified and or staff who are ready to be, to move into the teaching field, and we contribute to the certification to assist them in getting certified due to shortages within the state and nationwide as well. In the next slide, you'll notice we're talking about our mission and vision. So the mission of the Academy, it's important to know why we existed. Of course, this is to provide our students with quality education as number one, with focus on the Michigan core curriculum and international cultures. So in our case, because of the teaching of the Arabic language, this attracts many families from the different Arabic countries who have migrated to the U.S., and they want their kids to preserve the culture and to learn the language as a second language and to assist them in assimilation, in adapting to the new culture. And that's exactly what we do. It is built into our mission and vision. And so our shared philosophy, that's in the next slide, focuses on the core values, and we take pride in our own school alignment with the mission and vision. We also have the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars of HES, which is HES is the abbreviation for Hamadi Education Services. Hamadi is the management for the Academy. We're the founders of the Academy. We're also managing the Academy. And we have a set philosophy and a set program and set pillars that we take pride in, and that is, we'll touch base on those later on. And so and our second shared philosophy is building reasonable academic growth and core competencies to make sure that our students are competitive and they're prepared for college. We have 100% compliance with all state, federal, authorizer, and board requirements. This is unlike what some stereotypes go on in some media. They say that charter schools do not comply and whatever. This is irrelevant because we cannot be funded unless we are in compliance. So we've always, this is the 22nd year, we've always been in compliance 100%, and we take that to heart. Also, we do a lot of professional development. We prepare our staff to do well, and we equip them with the resources, and we assign them mentors and coaches to make sure that they're successful in the classroom. And when they're successful, our students become successful. And one of the last shared philosophies is that we continue to be financially sound. STAR International, in fact, is one of the top leading academies with its sound financial record. And it's been rated by the Standard & Poor as BBB+, and for so many years, it's been very stable. So that gives you the sense of how the strong foundation that it has, and the security and the continuity is there. So that positions the school in a very strong position. And then as far as the structure and the way this is designed. So Hamadi Education Services, as I said earlier, is the management company for the Academy, and the Academy has been authorized by Oakland University initially. We transitioned into Bay Mills Community College, that's the authorizer now, and we manage 4 academies altogether, about 6 buildings. We have over 3,300 students and about 400 staff members. And if you need to contact us in any way or shape, so there's the website, which is posted, www.hesedu.com. There are multiple ways of reaching out to us, also info@hesedu.com. More information will follow in this presentation. And then as we move on to the next slide, with that, we've been in existence 22 years, and these are the academies. In the next slide, it shows the 4 academies that we are servicing. STAR is the oldest and the first academy that we founded. We also founded Universal Academy, which is in Detroit. Both are pre-K through 12, and they cater to the same kind of student population. Universal Learning Academy is another one in Westland, also pre-K through 12. And then the last one we founded in 2004, Newer International Academy, which is in the Sterling Heights area in the northeast side of Michigan. the management does basically services from A to Z for the academy to ensure the academy smoothly runs. So we've had this long experience. We talked about the pillars earlier. So these are the pillars. The first pillar is scholarship, that is ensuring the students receive top quality education. We focus on the values to educate by example. And then also the second one is character. So we believe scholarship without character is really does not lead to a successful human being. So I say human being intentionally because one has to have character, has to have values, has to have ethics, to really have a balanced education and to have a balanced outcome. And scholarship without character is really it's scary. Like with this covet, if this was actually created by a person, then what's the use of a genius when someone does not have ethics and doesn't care about humanity and human nature? So, and the values that we are built on and our culture focuses on. The third pillar is the culture. The culture is important we teach our students to understand value and know their own culture and respect their own culture. At the same token, we teach them how to understand value, respect other cultures. While someone can be right, others could be right as well. And it is okay to have different cultures. It is actually a great thing. It's a positive, it is a strength. And we learn how to interact with each other. We learn how to adapt each other. We learn how to respect one another and to value each other. And each culture brings in added value to humanity. The last one is community. So we try to instill in the students a sense of responsibility towards their community, just in the same case that the community had a contribution in their success. They owe it to the community to also give back to their community and to also be careful, be caring about the next generations, as an example, in the use of water, the use of environmental issues and so forth. We are responsible for what happens to the future generation. We teach them that kind of sense of responsibility, and to also, volunteer. Volunteering is very important. It's not about me. The new generation, the majority, they focus on themselves. We want them to focus on giving to the community rather than just what's in it for me alone. So it's not just me, it's about us as a community as a whole. It could be the small immediate community, the far outreach community, global responsibility towards global issues as well. So we take pride in these pillars. And that kind of we teach to the whole child. It gives a balanced education. This presents a real balanced education for the students. Talking about the facilities, these are some pictures about the facilities that we have. The Star International Academy has an athletic field in the Dearborn Heights area, and that's the hub of the academies that we have, and it has really scored many advances, or has reached a lot of success stories as a result of the athletic program that we have. And so STAR's buildings, we have a big, large building, pre-K through second, adjacent to the bigger building, which is 3rd through 12 in the Dearborn Heights, plus the athletic field, plus the central office, which is to the lower corner, right-hand corner. And then the expansion to Canton, this came as a result of many demands in the area. It's been for years, and that demand has been in place. If you can go to the next slide, please, so we can show talking about the Canton. This was purchased in 2018, and we've been working on the construction plan. Construction was delayed due to permitting. We were working with government offices and so forth. These things we don't have control of. But finally, we got the approval. We began construction. We're moving along, and things are going very well so far. So we had a little delay because of COVID-19 and the governor's stay-at-home order, but then things went back to normal. As a result, we're working in focusing on the existing classrooms that we have. We are able to open on time our our goal of opening is, so far the date is September 14th, roughly, contingent upon the final approval by the state fire marshal and the authorizer, Bay Mills. And so we're working in that direction. The timeline seemed to indicate that we will be able to meet that goal, and we have started to accept students, of course, contingent upon the final approval by the fire marshal. That's a standard, normal requirement either way. So the building has a capacity of about 700 students, and it is aimed at supporting the mission and vision of the academy in the growth to meeting the demands for growth. And the facility is being totally renovated from A to Z to make sure that we have up-to-date facility with sophisticated technology. The gymnasium will be built later on. We are building a new kitchen. And with that, we will be able to offer halal meals. The kitchen may be a bit delayed. It may be on time too. So far, it looks like it's going to be on time, but if there's any delay, the kitchen may be one area that may be delayed, so we can have the classrooms all ready. But we have an all-purpose room. It will be ready. If we can move on to the next slide, please. The program that we have, we will be able to offer the full program to include all the core subject areas, as well as ESL, special education, and then expand the services eventually to support the existing program that we have, and as maybe the demand. So it will be technologically fully equipped, a smart board in each classroom. If we can move on to the next slide, please. I want to talk about the performance of the Academy. So Star International Academy has had a very strong record of proven performance, and it's been noted as one of the top high schools in the state of Michigan. It actually took the lead for many years. It is in second place now, but that's a very slight deviation, and it continues to really have high achievement. And the achievement is really the progress of the students, is where they begin at and how far they go. This has been one of the highest strong progress that the Academy has made, considering the logistics of the student body and where they come from and so forth. We ensure that our students continue to make progress to meet the grade level expectation and to be successful in college and to be admitted into college, to get scholarships and to be successful. So for the program that we have also, we talked about, we offer foreign language, that is Arabic as a second language. The curriculum is very rigorous, and the staff are highly qualified. And we also offer to our staff, for those who may be interested in employment opportunities, we offer growth opportunities. Also, we we have an incentive program where for those who want to be certified, we pay for the program to get certified. So that's how it works. In the second slide, the next slide, please, if you can move on. So this is some information. We discussed that before. If we can move quickly to the next slide, please. So one of the questions that's coming is, who's the principal? So we have identified somebody, but we haven't really finalized the contract. So we will have an announcement later on as to who the principal would be. So we have someone with experience, many years of experience, and so we'll be introducing the principal eventually at one of the future meetings. So we will have that answered. The facility itself is located at 45081 Geddes Road. For those who are living in Canton or in the surrounding area, please feel free to drive around and look at it. It's in a beautiful location, located on 12 acres. The size of the building, once it's done, it will be 37,620 square foot, and it will have eventually 22 classrooms. Right now, it has about 18 classrooms. So we will be able to prepare those 18 classrooms ready to go while we continue to add other things to it. So we're planning to add an atrium to have a nice feel, nice welcome, and also the gymnasium eventually. One of the questions that came in is, when can we tour? So we will talk with the construction company to see if they would allow us to schedule something sometimes maybe in July and August. That may be a possibility. We may be able to have a tour. So we would have to have authorization by the fire marshal to allow that tour, considering that the building is still under construction. So the building will have, as the program has PE, has a, the all-purpose room will be used for PE, which is physical education, will be used as a gymnasium, and it will also be used as a cafeteria. Initially, we anticipate the enrollment to be at a lower level. We don't anticipate to have 700 students right up front. So with a smaller number in the beginning, the first couple of years, we will be able to manage using that all-purpose big room as a gymnasium. It will be equipped with basketball equipment, and volleyball equipment will be equipped for a few sports, so we can convert it into a PE room and also gymnasium. And a section of it can be during lunchtime, can be used for lunchtime. At that time, students will be in the classrooms taking other classes. And then it'll be fully secured, so that like all other facilities, they have top security system inside out and the high-speed internet. Every student also will be getting a Chromebook. So this is a part of what we have started to do when we switched into virtual. We offered and we gave every student a Chromebook. So in case Corona is an issue, we can easily switch into that, and students continue to have their education followed with, so they don't miss out on anything. And then also, the way decision making is at the building and at the school as a school-wide, we always focus on data. We look at data. So we analyze data every year. We do school improvement. And then the way we promote students, the way we place them in supplemental programs and advanced programs, or in whatever they're placed in, whether it's special ed, ESL, it's all based on the data that we gather, we analyze. We have specialists who look at the data, they analyze it, they make recommendations. So it's collaborative effort between the staff, the students, the parents. We engage the parents in the process. We try to collaborate and work together. And here at the end, it's the best interest of the students, what really works well for them. In the next slide, if you don't mind, we can go there. And the question is coming here if there's a soccer field in this location. The facility has 12 acres. So there is a green area that will be there that would allow eventually us to have the field paved and, not paved, I would say, prepared to allow after school activities, and to have that space. Perhaps if soccer is in demand, we will look into that. We'll figure out, what it takes to prepare that land. So that land will be used as a play area as well. So we will have playground equipment and whatever it takes to get things moving. And based on the demand is what we will prepare the facility for. So if there's a lot of demand for soccer, so we would definitely look into that and make sure that the field is prepared. I don't think it takes a lot for that. As far as the next one, please, next slide, if we can keep moving on that. So some of the highlights, we already kind of mentioned those. We have an athletic program that's highly recognized by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. We offer about 20 sports. The current facility in Dearborn Heights has a whole football field. We offer football, soccer, volleyball. As a matter of fact, with the females, usually they don't get attention, or as, culturally speaking, sometimes it's a disadvantage. Some, like their girls to be involved, some don't. On our end, we provide equal opportunity for females as well as males to be a part of those sports. In our female volleyball team won the state championship 2 years in a row. So we take really pride in that. And we have amazing staff and coaches who really help our students in preparing them. And we've had students receiving scholarships also from colleges because of the sports achievement that they have had, very notable achievements. Our kitchen will be fully prepared and it's all halal. If we can move on to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. So The school is tuition free, so many of the parents think that we charge tuition and that our school is a private school. Our school is a public school. It's free of charge. We're funded by the state, so we don't have any restriction to any geographic restriction that kind of separates, makes us different than the traditional schools. So anyone in the state of Michigan is able to participate as long as the parents are able to drive them to the academy. We have a full day preschool program, and kindergarten program is also full day. So we are actually admitting students in these grades aggressively. We're getting a lot of applications. So if you are a parent in these grades, please make sure to submit your applications as soon as possible so we can get your child qualified to be admitted. Our enrollment continues to take place until we fill all the openings. If you have a high school student that's, this facility in Canton is supposed to be pre-K through 8. So if you are concerned about your students, where do they go next once they finish the 8th grade? I can tell you because the sister school offers pre-K through 12, we can transport students. You can drop them off at the Canton facility. We can transport them to the Dearborn Heights section or division. And so they would continue in the same school. Once they're in the school, they're guaranteed a spot at the high school. So you don't have to worry about sending them somewhere else. No, we will take them back and forth from the current facility to the future facility. And then I would say, uniform is a part. So students are required to wear uniform all the way from kindergarten through 12. We don't ask for pre-K to wear a uniform, but some parents prefer a uniform, so we offer it to them. The first piece of uniform, that is the shirt, is free of charge. The rest, parents would have to purchase it. And the purchase is usually done online. If we can move to the next slide, please. And then the other highlights, I would say we talked about those highlights, the ESL, special education. We do have tutorial program during school. So for students who are behind and they need to have additional remediation, we have paraprofessionals who support the teachers in the classroom. So teachers and the paraprofessional collaborate together to provide those, reinstill the skills that need to be instilled to make sure that the students, move up in their preparation to be grade level prepared. And we also have a free summer school program. We have an after school program that's also free, and then free and reduced lunch. So the breakfast and the lunch, they're free for those qualified students. And there's a qualification process. Parents would need to fill out an application for a free and reduced, and that's how we qualify them. So we also have parental portal access to grades, so parents will have access to their kids' assignments and grades online. So you don't have to worry about whether the kids bring you the assignments or not, or they tell you about it or not. It's all available online. You can just go in, you'll be given a password, and you can keep checking and stay in touch with teachers on a daily basis. And so we do also offer field trips, to support the educational program. These are educational field trips, not really anything else. They're not entertainment field trips. We have hands-on learning opportunities with labs and manipulatives. Also, we do a lot of awards and recognitions and contests. Some of the contests involve spelling bee. That's an example. We do that in Arabic as well as in English. And our students have been competing at the state level as well. And then we also have other activities, clubs. A good example is the National Honor Society. So that's for elementary, for junior, middle school, and then also for the high school. We also have a student government for grades 6 through 12. We have family engagement opportunities where we provide, we get parents engaged in some of the activities, as well as we provide training in based on the needs of the students and what the parents need to know, give them orientation. We also have sessions where we hear their feedback, we work on the feedback, and we try to support as may be needed. We do require our students at the high school level to do community service, and they get credit for that. And then The athletic program has its own criteria, and that is usually in the policy handbook. So students would have to obtain a certain grade point average. So they need to be responsible for their grades, their homework assignments, their studies. We want to make sure that the athletic program is not at the expense of their academic achievement. The next slide, please. So, and then some parents are asking about transportation. We do not offer transportation. However, parents are expected to transport their kids back and forth to the academy. So in the only transportation we offer, if we have enough high school students to go to STAR at the hub building in Dearborn Heights, we would transport them back and forth. That is, if we have enough to kind of ride the bus, and at the same time their siblings are attending at the Canton division. So the students would have to have siblings attending the Canton division in order for us to transport them. We don't transport high school students if there are no siblings attending. Parents are responsible for transporting their own kids. Also, if you're interested in enrollment, there's going to be a little presentation shortly. I'll give you some direction as to how to apply and so forth. But this is the slide here. It gives you an information as to what to, the link. This is a website link, and you go to admissions. So it's www.starpsa.org/admissions. There's another link for it, and it's all automated. It's online. It's digital. So you fill out an information, the information that's requested. And once you fill it out, someone will respond to you, and they'll send you the full application, and it takes you from there with further direction, and it tells you what the requirements are. And so the current buildings we have, like I said earlier, we have two buildings. One, they're adjacent to each other within the same location in Dearborn Heights. That is the parent company or parent school for STAR. It's been there since 2003, actually, 2003, 2004. But initially we started STAR in 1998 in the Detroit area and moved it to Dearborn Heights, and now we're expanding to Canton. The Canton location has been, the Canton community has been demanding and actually inquiring into having a section there over the years. So we're finally responding. We've been fortunate to find the right location, and we're responding to that demand. Hopefully, you'll find this program meeting your expectation. Our curriculum is rigorous, like I said, and we're competitive. During this COVID-19, we were ahead of the game. We were ready to do a switch into virtual. Actually, our curriculum is going to be digital curriculum. We will still have books for those who prefer to have books, but the curriculum for the most part is all digital. So that way, if anything happens, God forbids, we can adapt, and if students are not able, they're not feeling good, they're not able to come into school, they can actually do all their work from home. That's, during severe situations, and provided that the student is capable to do the work. If the student is not capable to do the work, we would follow the doctor's directions. If they're able to do homebound education, we can offer that. Actually, we would be obligated to do that. But if they cannot do homebound due to severe health issues, then we would follow whatever directions the student's doctor tells us. So for enrollment, back to that discussion. So the needed documentation is is completion of the enrollment application, copy of the birth certificate, and or a passport, just to show proof of student age and the grade level, and also a copy of immunization record, a copy of the last report card, so we know what grade the student has completed, so they can go on to the next grade. And if the student never attended school before, it's fine. We just need that clarity and transparency, so we know where the student is at, so we can properly place that student. And then also, we do require you complete a free and reduced lunch application with a proof of income. The proof of income is limited to only one person who will see that, 1 to 2 people who will see it. It's totally confidential. We are required to do that. This gets audited, so we don't have an option over this piece of document. It is a requirement in order for us to provide free and reduced lunch program to qualify your student to get the free and reduced. So continuing on with the enrollment. So enrollment is open to all Michigan residents. There are no restrictions as far as where you live. You could live anywhere in Canton, surrounding Canton, anywhere else. You can be living even in Dearborn Heights, it's fine, or in any area that will help you, that you're able to drive and take the student on time, pick them up on time as well to the Canton Center or to the Dearborn Heights, either way. And then enrollment is limited to students who fall within the appropriate age level. So as an example, if your child is 5 years old and you're asking us to put them in 3rd grade, we would not do that, or the other way around. So it has to be age appropriate. And then also it is open for grades K through 8, actually pre-K through 8. We just got authorization from the state that pre-K is approved, so we just need the building approved. Once it's approved, and hopefully we will have that approval sometimes between July and August. If we get the full approval, then we anticipate the substantial completion approval, which is there's initial stage is temporary, and then we have a checklist. We go through it. During the initial approval, students can be in the classrooms, so we can open during that time frame. And so also the priority is always given to siblings, and then board members' kids and staff member kids. So that's a priority. But once your child is in the next years, if you have siblings, the siblings would have priority in admission. So that way, when you choose us as a school, you don't have to worry about siblings being admitted or not, unless we have a big overage of enrollment. Then we would have to do a lottery. Usually a lottery is done when we have many more applications than we have openings. And, we try to, and it's limited to a time frame. So a limited time frame, usually the lottery period is between March and April. So all the enrollments the enrollment applications that came in during that time frame will be admitted first, and then everyone else on the waiting list will be afterwards. So far, the way it is for the Canton Center, it looks like we will be able to admit many of the students who have applied. So check with us when you inquire into your child's application, and for those who will be enrolling new as well. So we should be starting to admit the students. Remember, all the admissions is contingent upon the final fire marshal approval. So that will be the case. I want to talk briefly about the achievement for STAR. So why STAR? Why choose STAR? Why, what's about STAR that's special, that's unique? So in 2018, it was number 2 in the state of Michigan for number 2 from among 674 high schools. So based on the CAP scores and based on the McKenna Center for Public Policy. And then it was number 1 for the past 10 years, 2008 to 2018, based on the McKenna Center for Public Policy, and that's from among 674 high schools. So it is the number 1. It's been historically for a long period of time, and we plan to continue to keep it that way. It has received a bronze medal from the U.S. News and World Report for the best performing high school in the country. And also, it has been named as the number 1 safest school according to Niche magazine. And also, our students have been able to raise over $26 million in 2019, last year. I don't have the number for this year, but we know last year that was a very high accomplishment for 72 students only. And some of our students have gone to the Ivy League and Harvard, been admitted to Harvard. So we really take pride of that. And then 100% of our students, the seniors, get admitted into colleges and or universities. So 100% of them. And then at least 95% go to college and continue through their 4 years of of college, continue at the college and finish college. So that is a high percent when you compare it nationwide and or to the state results. And that information is really public information. It's been a recipient of silver medal, and we've had so many actually accomplishments. And we talked about the girls volley varsity volleyball league that's been highly successful, have received the championship in the state of Michigan. We really take pride of those girls. Previously, also, we've had a number of accomplishments with our administrators receiving Administrator of the Year from MAPSA. I myself have been able to accomplish that as well. And then it's always been noted as one of the top high schools, according to the U.S. News and World Report, for the best performing high schools in the country. And then also the Arab American News article referenced the awards, and we do a lot of community outreach. We reach out to the community. We provide Thanksgiving luncheons to keep, to model to our students and recognizing the different important community members and people who contribute to the success of the academy. So we look at the neighborhood community, and we recognize the fire, the police and the local city officials and so forth. So that's important. And it takes a village to teach a child or to educate a child. And we want our students to recognize that it takes more than just a teacher to educate you. It takes everybody around. It's all a team approach. It's all of us. And so students, we try to help them recognize that there's a lot more to it. And then going back to the basics as well, appreciating family, appreciating parents, appreciating siblings, appreciating what they have in life. Rather than constantly critiquing, criticizing, being negative and whatever. So we try to prepare them to be positive thinkers and productive, constructive thinkers, and where they're creative and also caring human beings as well. So if you visit Michigan school data, if you Google that, and it'll take you to this website where the state keeps data about the school. This is the index report. So our index is the overall almost 65%, which is great. And the growth index is 53%. It shows the growth of our students over time. And the graduation rate is 100%. So 100% of our students do graduate. The quality of the program and the success of the students is 83, close to 84%. That tells you where we stand. And then talking about the English language learners, 82%, and the proficiency index, 48%, I believe. And then assessment, 100% of our students, they take the national assessments. So, and we have several assessments actually. We do the MSTEP, which is a state assessment. We do the SAT as well. We do the WIDA testing for students who have second language background. This is a requirement to identify areas where students need to be. We do the MTSS, the multi-stages for the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. This is to provide individualized instruction to students to identify the gaps, the areas that they need to really work on. It helps teachers to focus on those skills and to continue to build on them. And to minimize the gap between the student and the average, national average, or state average. So to bring the student up to code in a very constructive and structured manner. So that's really the bulk of the presentation. If you have any questions, please send them to us. We'd love to hear from you. I wanted to mention that the Star International Academy has always received a grade letter A from the state. You'll see that, and also from the Michigan, we talked about that earlier. So this grade has been actually achieved also by all of our academies. So not to we work hard. We have staff who really work very hard, and we really take pride in our staff. If it's not for our staff, we couldn't do this job alone. We have amazing team members, and we have very specialized people in the different areas. We have the way we're structured. We have several departments, and each is headed by a specialist, and their job is to prepare their departments for the openings, for the needs, to satisfy all the needs, for the compliance, to do whatever, and they do a lot of training. So they train and they support their staff, and we make sure that all of our staff are really supported in every means. The resources, we provide a lot of resources to our staff to make sure there are no excuses for failure in any way or shape. And so once we have the staff on board, we take them in and we make sure that they have mentors, and they have coaches. Some of them are well experienced, they probably don't need it. We still assign them because if they're new, to help them adapt and adjust within our learning environment and our system. And then the same with the parents. We have also the parent organization. We want our parents to be engaged. We want them to be part of the planning process and the decision making process. We do survey parents for feedback. We survey students for feedback. We survey our staff for feedback. All of this is to help, the more opinions or the more ideas we get, the more creative we can get, and we try to collaborate. With that, I'm going to turn this to Mr. Sharafuddin, who is moderating the meeting. And if you have other questions, please send them our way. We would be happy to answer. Thank you. Thank you for attending, and hope to see you in the future.
Welcome to Star International Academy, a nationally recognized public school academy and one of the top high schools in the state of Michigan, as ranked by U.S. News. Based on the Michigan Common Core curriculum, SIA's well-rounded programs focus on the study of international cultures. Home to students from more than 24 countries, Star International Academy encourages students to tear down walls and build bridges, sharing and celebrating their diverse cultural backgrounds. Thus, students learn not to fear their differences, but to draw from one another's strengths and maximize each one's potential. In the safe and respectful environment, our dedicated educators lay the foundation for a lifetime of learning, offering an innovative, world-class education to inspire students and prepare them for their future roles as responsible citizens and the leaders of tomorrow. Star International Academy is a unique, superior alternative to traditional public school education. What is a charter school? Charter schools are independently operated public schools that have the freedom to design classrooms that meet their students' needs. Every charter school in the state of Michigan is a tuition-free public entity with nonprofit status. For more information about charter schools, please visit charterschools.org. Now, let's show you how to enroll in Star International Academy. You go to the website of Star International Academy, which is starpsa.org, and you click on admissions, and you click on enroll online, either start enrollment or on this link. To go directly to this link, you can also just go to bit.ly/enroll@SIA. This will start a very simple application to collect the preliminary information for your enrollment. You click on Start, and you enter whether the student is a new enrollment or a child of a board member, a sibling of a current student, or it's a re-enrollment of a previous student, or if the child is a child of a staff member of the academy. You pick which campus. For Canton campus, we're gonna pick that, for example. Then you start entering your information. Basically, your first name and your last name and your email address. And you start entering your actual street address and the city. You enter your phone number and how many children you are enrolling. Let's say you're enrolling one child. You start entering the student information now. Middle name. If you don't have a middle name, you can just click enter to skip. And child last name. The child's date of birth. And then the child's age. And the grade that you wish to enroll in. Would you like to review the information for the student? Or are you ready to submit your application? If you like to review, it will take you over and you can correct any information you entered. And if you click no, I'm ready to submit the application, it will give you the option to submit and you click submit. With that, you're done from your preliminary application and you'll be notified by email of the next steps of enrollment. After that, you will receive the enrollment application to sign it electronically via DocuSign. You'll receive an email that will look like that. It will ask you to review the document. The email states, "Dear parent, guardian, applicant, this is your electronic application for applying for enrollment at Star International Academy. Please complete the application and upload the required documents such as the birth certificate or passport, immunization record, and past school record if any, and e-sign it. If you need any help, translation, or for any question, please don't hesitate to call our office, and the number is here and the email is stated there." Once you click review documents, this will open a pre-filled application for you that you will need to fill a few more spots, sign it, and also upload any documents that you have. Once this opens in this way, you'll basically click continue. This is the message that I just read to you. And you click continue and you will start filling this application. All the red spots, these are required spots. And where it says optional, they're optional. So these are the documents that you need to upload, like for example, the birth certificate, immunization record. And if you don't have the documents right now, that's fine. You can complete the application and then send the documents later via email or any other method. If you have the documents, you can upload them directly. If you're using a cell phone or an iPad, you can actually take a picture and upload the documents directly from your cell phone. You are going to fill the rest of this information. If you have any questions during your application process, don't feel free to call the main office for questions or seek an assistance. And after you finish filling this application, you'll click finish. application will not allow you to finish until all the required fields are filled. Once all the required fields are filled, you'll be able to finish the application, and it will be received at the enrollment department of Star International Academy. After that, you'll be notified if there are any missing documents or if there are any necessary corrections. And if not, either your child will be admitted or placed on a waiting list. The waiting list order will be determined by a public rotary according to the state regulations. If you have any question or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact the school. Thank you very much.